The reason why you feel trash on offense in Madden 26 because you don't have any consistency. You keep hopping from playbook to playbook without finding a money play or one-play touchdown that actually works. Luckily for you, in this video, I'm breaking down the updated top 3 offensive playbooks you must be using to score more points and win more games in Madden 26. You're not going to miss out on any of the plays or playbooks I have for you in this video, so let's jump right into it. Alright, that first playbook I want to break down for you is a super underrated one that no one's using right now. Let me show you the Eagles playbook. Alright, so this Eagles playbook, super dangerous. The first play I want to show you is Y sail from normal Y off close. Now, with this play, you always want to make sure that you have your passing strength, so your 2 receivers and your running back on the short side. So we're going to take this snap right here, and we're essentially just trying to make the read. Right here, they give us the opportunity to roll out until we hit Dallas Goedert right there on the sideline. Look, this is like an everything beater. If you want to leave the hitch on the field, you can do that. You could also hot route him right here. They're just going to be in cover 3 on that side, and so I'm just going to peacefully throw that pass, on the sideline for an easy possession catch. Essentially, with this play, you can just walk up the line and take the snap. Right here, you see the running backs cross man from all the way across the field. As we know, Saquon Barkley is a cheat code in this game after, you get the ball in his hands, but we continue to go through this. The most important thing is just stepping up in the pocket, and also don't forget about that backside dig, especially when you have a great offensive line. You can cancel your drop back, step up in the pocket, and you're going to be able to move those zones away when you step up. Right here, we're just going to take the snap, and we're just going to, like I said, peacefully hit our hitch right there in the middle of the field. That's why you can leave that route on the field sometimes, but other times I would put him on a drag to create a route concept like this. I know I had my running back too, but then you see you can use that running back as a blocker after the catch if you have the dragger on the field. So, it's really just an easy play right here. They're just going to give us that running back again. Hopefully, you would see it immediately. You want to go through the 1, 2, 3 read progression. So, the first read is the running back. Then I would look to my hitch. Then I would look to my corner route. And then I guess you really have a 4th and a 5th option, the backside dig, and then just stepping up and taking off with your quarterback. So, again, if they give, that's the most important thing about the read progression. If they give you the first read, the check down, you take it. There's going to be times where certainly you want to push the ball down the field, but if there's no one in the flat, you just make the game easy for yourself. Try to spin guys out and shoot guys after the catch and turn that into a big game. So we go through it one last time here with the Y sail. You're going to see man coverage, though. Also, you have an opportunity to hit that backside dig to A.J. Brown if he could hold on to it. Certainly not going to end on that, though. Boom, we're just going to take it, backside dig open, stuff him in the pocket, hit your read. So that's Y sail, but there's another great play here from this Eagles playbook. And that play is going to be here in Y off trio close. We're going to come into motion PA cross switch. All right, what we're going to do, put our running back on a streak. Always make sure on the short side with this, and hopefully you would be using base protection. But running back on a streak, B receiver on a drag. And when they decide to run cover 3 defenses, this is going to be a wide open 1-play touchdown lob pass over the top. Something else that's very important with this, always make sure you're calling this play behind the 50-yard line as well, just because you're going to need a lot of air time to be able to lob this pass over the top to be able to even score the touchdown. If you're too close to the end zone, the ball will just go through the back of the end zone and they'll be able to guard it. So right here, step all the way up in the pocket and then lob that pass over the top for just an easy touchdown. So again, making sure you're not stepping past the line of scrimmage, making sure though you're certainly not drifting too far back, because stepping up in the pocket makes it an even easier throw. Like right here, even if they give you a single high safety look, that's a good disguise, but if they actually run cover 3, that's when you want to hit this. And the way that they're in cover 3, if they give you the single high look, you would anticipate it, but if you see that safety shuffling towards the middle of the field, that's also a great indicator that they're in cover 3. But if we go through it again right here, again, set it up the same way. Always make sure though that you're ready to hit your drag underneath. We're going to take the snap right here. It looks like we're going to have time to throw, and then we're just going to lob that pass right behind that guy's head for an easy touchdown. So like I said, if you get shedded, hit your drag. If you have time to throw, you're seeing right here, I'm getting time to throw. Shout out to my offensive line. I lob that pass. The reason why this works is because this man runs off the outside third, and then he bends the route off. The inside third never recognizes it, and so you're just able to lob it over the top for an easy touchdown. So those are 2 really great plays from the Eagles playbook. 1-play touchdown, and then a great zone beater and man beater. You see that's able to beat every defense in the game. Alright, so if you enjoyed that first breakdown of the Eagles playbook here in Madden 26, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button. I break down offensive tips and tricks just like this every single day in Madden 26, and you don't want to miss out on any of them. Let's jump into the next two playbooks. Alright, that next playbook I want to break down for you is the playbook that Drini used to win the $250,000 Madden Bowl, the Steelers offense. Let me break down the best plays. Alright, so the first play I want to break down here from the Steelers offense, this is the best RPO in this game, RPO Zone Alert Omaha from Trip Side and Flex. The reason why is you have a great alignment and so much versatility. So really the first thing that you're going to recognize here with this RPO in particular is if you press Y, you're able to hot route the two guys on route, so B and A in this case. On most RPOs in this game, you're going to see how you can't hot route your receivers, but when you're able to, that makes it even better. And the best part is you have two blockers out here on the right, or excuse me, on the left side to block for Adam Thielen. So we're going to put him on a flat. What you're going to notice is a bubble is a good yes, and you're able to pick up yards down the field, but it would be so much better if you put him on a flat because he's not going to lose his momentum. Obviously, we know bubbles, they're running backwards, and so they kind of lose their momentum. But you don't just have to put him on a flat. Like right here, if they give you this seam look right here, like right up the seam, you look for this. Boom. And now we just have it easy. I mean, we could probably score this, right? If Thielen was just a little bit faster, right? We would just be able to score. So you have the ability to high route your RPOs, which makes them super, super dangerous. Right here, they're giving us a press man look, so you probably just, put him on a flat. You can still throw it, like right here, he's in press man-to-man coverage, but he gets bumped. So you see how Zach Bond right there was lined up right over the top of him, but he got bumped, and so that allows for us to throw it. Right here, this is just another obvious, shriek look right here, where we're just going to take the snap, try to look right at the seam, and throw that pass. And it's just such a quick throw that a lot of the time their user doesn't recognize it, but you want to mix it up. You don't just want to use flat routes, you don't just want to use shrieks, and you don't want to just use like drags, for example. There will be times where you can just take the snap and throw that pass right there over the middle, right? So you want to definitely be mixing it up so that if they start to user it, they can't get a beat. If they decide to put a hard flat on that left side, that's not going to necessarily work for them every time. But also, you don't have to hot route Fearmouth. You can leave Fearmouth on his out route and like pick up good yards right there. You see how we're able to pick up a first down on a simple 2-yard out route. So it's like you don't always have to, hot route him. I would pretty much always play around with Thielen though. So right here, boom, you see how our block set up really nicely. We're able to cut that up and turn that into, a 15-yard gain simply because we're utilizing what he is giving us, our ability to high route RPOs instead of just leaving them, kind of how they are. So really, I'm pretty much always just going to look to the left side first, and then if that's not open, then I probably quickly check to see if like Fearmouth could be open. So boom, right here, we just throw this pass out there, we follow our blocks, and we're able to turn that into a big game. So that's the best RPO here in this game that all the pro players are using, just because it's super, super dangerous and easy to set up. But let me show you another red zone money play. All right, and that play is going to be quick fork zig here from Gun Trips X Nasty. All right, so this is going to be really great when they decide to run cover 3. You normally want to have your trips on the wide side here with this to make it even better. So I'm just going to respot the ball, but you would just call it when you're actually on that side of the field. So like I said, this is best against cover 3. It can work against man coverage. It can also work against cover 2. But we're going to take the snap, and you're really just going to see what makes it so dangerous. I would call this play anytime I'm inside like the 7 or 8 yard line, just because that gives me the best chance to score with this play. But if we look at the replay, this flat route pushes the hard flat outside and then allows for us to get this stop and slant route, and then we just possession catch it inside for an easy touchdown. So stop, slant, easy. And then you also see how you have this slant route. The slant route to the tight end does a great job of moving vert hooks and hook crows inside, which is going to make this pass right here to Thielen an easy gain. You don't always have to possession catch it. Obviously, I would really only possession catch it when it's a contested play. What you're going to see right here, they're going to be in, I'm going to put them in a cover 2 defense, and you're going to notice how it's going to be a little bit more contested. Boom. And you just kind of have to possession catch that pass because Nolan Smith or that defender in that hook zone, that vert hook, could actually play that. So that's when I would use the possession catch. But right here, they should be in, we're going to put them in man coverage. And you're going to notice when they're in man, what you're looking for is Thielen's route can still get open, but then you're looking to DK Metcalf or Fear Move. So boom, you're going to see how Thielen can still get open. He can still get body position that time he drops the ball, but that's like a completable pass, but it's not necessarily what I would be looking for. So you don't just want to stare down Thielen. You kind of want to read their coverage. Are they in man? Are they in zone? And if they're in man coverage, then you just look to DK because he's going to run his zig, or whoever's in that spot. He's going to be able to, create good separation because he's on a pretty good man-beating route. Also recognize that, your tight end can get open right there in the middle. Right here, we're just going to try to throw. Thielen, I think, was actually open. You probably could have done that if I would have decided to. But if we go through it one last time here with this play, you could just notice how it's kind of a glitch route from Thielen. He's going to stop and then run his route, which is super unique. So more man coverage. We're just going to throw that and another drop from Thielen, so we can't end on that either. So we're just going to take this snap right here. This time they're going to be in cover 3, and it's just an easy touchdown. So really, that's a great play to pull out of your back pocket when you get inside that 10, that 7, 8-yard line, just because it's a unique route that's really hard to defend from zone coverage. And even when they run man coverage, you have a full, complete route concept to attack that too. All right, so again, if you enjoyed that breakdown of the Steelers offense, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button. I'm the only one right now uploading daily Madden 26 tips and tricks to help you get better at the game. But if you want my full Pittsburgh Steelers offensive ebook, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab it today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. I guarantee to transform the way you play offense because it's fully in written form with videos, with screenshots of everything you need to dominate an offense from the Steelers playbook. Can't wait to help you out, and let's jump right into that final playbook, which is going to be the offense that pretty much every top pro player is using right now, the Benkert Dimes playbook. Let me show you exactly why they're in that one. Alright, so that first reason is going to be because of this play, motion halfback choice from gun bunch tight end, alright? So they're going to be in cover 3 right here, and this is really when this play is so effective. Now, they're showing you 2 high safeties, and so this can work against cover 2 as well, so it really doesn't matter. The setup is to put your outside B receiver on a shriek, put your running back on an in route if you want to, but if you want that extra pass protection, then just go ahead and block him. But really, you're just going to see you take the snap, and if you can get time to throw in the pocket, you're going to have Jayden Reed over the top. Now, it's very important to, be able to get time to throw in the pocket, obviously, if you're setting up a one-play touchdown, which is why I say, okay, leave the in route on the field at times, because that gives you, another check down option in case you get shedded. Now, if they give you a single high safety look, but we take the snap right here playing against a cover 3 defense, and you're just going to notice how the further Jayden Reed or that slot receiver runs his route over the top, he's going to start to bend the route off and get inside of the inside third. So we look at the instant replay right here. Okay, boom, Jayden Reed's running his route. It looks like a regular shriek until right now where he starts to bend the route off, and this is the key point. This inside third defender has to respect this shriek right here, and so then that just allows for us to have a good freeform pass lead outside away from the defender and to be able to just score an easy rack touchdown. So again, the setup, B on a shriek, tight end on a corner, right? And so you're just going to see it also right here. They're going to run cover 2. And a lot of people, they like to use that mid-read defender. And so if they don't chase Jayden Reed all the way over the top, you just notice how of a wide open, straightforward pass that is. You don't even really need to freeform that pass. It's just going to be wide open for you. So we take a look at the instant replay right here with this one. It's like, okay, the corner route to Watson again is going to move this deep half outside and open up the middle of the field even more than it would be against a standard cover 2 defense. So again, if you get shedded, make sure you hit your check down. But if you like right here, I don't, there's no pressure. I'm feeling that I have plenty of time to throw, and so I just step up in the pocket and hit my throw right there for an easy pass down the field. But that's not all that's great from this Benkert Dimes playbook. That's certainly a great one-play touchdown, though. Because if we come into motion RPO zone alert here from Bunch X Nasty, what you're going to notice is if you put your RB receiver on a shriek and then you put your B receiver on a flat route, you're going to absolutely annihilate these coverages, right? They're in just random defense right here. If that man doesn't dart out, that man's in a flat, but our guy gets out to the flat faster than he does, which makes it very, very tough. And so it's going to be very tough for them to be able to defend this, because also look at that. Look how Tucker Kraft, we're going to look at the replay here, but look how Tucker Kraft gets up there and blocks that man before he can even get out to the flat. So it's like he gets sucked into an animation with this guy before he can even get out here and defend his assignment. boom, you just get out here, throw that pass. Now, if they decide to get super aggressive here against this setup and maybe they hard flat, right, they shade their coverage down, well, that's when you just throw Jaden Reed, right, with that shriek. That's why you have the shriek out on the field, to be able to just look right up the seam when they get really aggressive. So, I mean, this is going to be like nearly impossible for them to defend. Like, he just gets way better leverage out to the sideline than the curl flat or the hard flat defender does, and it just makes it like impossible. But then again, even when they shade their coverage down, they hard flat, they do whatever, I mean, it's just going to be a nightmare for them, right? So you can see right there, honestly, I made the read late, and you're going to also see even when they run man coverage, right, you're going to have an opportunity to throw your slant route over the middle of the field. So right here, we're going to have them be in man coverage. We're going to take this snap. We're just going to throw this slant route right there. And then Christian Watts is 97 speed, and so we're able to turn that into a big gain. So really with this RPO, you have the ability to get the ball out to the flat really quickly, but then you also just have the ability against every single defense to either look right at the seam or just throw your quick slant. So, I mean, it's really an impossible play for them to defend right there. They're still in man coverage, and we're still able to pick up easy yards time and time again, simply because our leverage is way better than theirs. But really, those are two plays that make the Benkert Dynasty playbook the go-to choice for almost every pro player. Alright, so if you enjoyed that breakdown of the top 3 offensive playbooks here in Madden 26, make sure, again, you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down offensive tips and tricks, money plays every single day on this game. You don't want to miss out on any of the content I have. But again, if you want my full Pittsburgh Steelers offensive ebook with the full written breakdown, video setups, screenshots, everything you're going to need to dominate an offense from the Steelers offense, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can use code YouTube to get 20% off, and I guarantee to transform your offense. But if you want to see a live action gameplay of me running that Steelers offense, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.